In this video, we will talk about the types of interface in Sangfor NGAF. There are several interfaces in the NGAF, which are physical interface, aggregate interface, sub-interface, VLAN interface and so on. Under physical interface, there are three modes, namely route mode, bridge mode and virtual wire mode. Each interface has different functions and are used for different purposes. The first interface is the physical interface, which corresponds with the physical box. In this interface, ETH0 is the management interface. Physical interface is the interface that can define physical interface as route, bridge, virtual wire and mirror interface, and the first three kinds of interface can be configured as one attribute. Physical interface cannot be deleted or added, it depends on the model. The physical interface is under Network, then Interface. There, you can see all the status of the physical interface. Next, is the route interface. To use the route interface, choose Route in the Type section. For bandwidth management, the interface is required to be one attribute. For route interface, an IP address must be configured for routing purpose. The one attribute route interface is to configure next hop IP. For link state detection, 0.0.0.0 won't be automatically created as the default route, it is needed to be created manually. The bandwidth of the interface is not related with bandwidth management, and is used for link load balance. The settings on the link state detection is to detect link status in real time and in multi-line scenario. In order to do auto switchover, this function have to be turned on. The settings in advanced allow to configure link mode, MTU and MAC address. If the interface is set as route mode, and the IP assignment is the PPPoE, the option Obtain Default Route needs to be enabled. For the Manage interface, ETH0 is the permanent manage interface, and type will be route interface. IP is 10.251.251.251.24. Both of the settings cannot be edited, but more IP can be added as needed at the next line. To go into Management Interface, click ETH0. ETH0 is a management interface, therefore, it cannot be edited except for adding more IP in the next line. To go into Route Interface, press the Other interface and check the type and choose Route. In Route Interface, there are three modes. In static mode, an IP address must be configured for routing purpose. Next hop IP should also be manually created. In DHCP mode, Obtain Default Route should remain tick. In PPPoE mode, remember to enable the option Obtain Default Route. And from the settings of link state detection, real-time detect link status and in multi-line scenario for auto switchover can be set here. The bridge interface is an interface like a normal switch port. IP address is not needed as routing is not supported. Data is transfer based on MAC address here. Some of the feature would require interface as one attribute. However, if the interface is configured as bridge with one attribute, don't reverse connected cable. Under Advanced Settings is to configure link mode, MTU and MAC address. To access bridge interface, click on any interface except ETH0. Then, change the type to bridge. Under bridge interface, there are two modes, access mode and trunk mode, just like a layer 2 switch. There is also a link to VLAN interface, click it and it will redirect to VLAN interface. The VLAN interface is a logical interface, which is used to create IP address for VLAN. The name on top is to insert VLAN ID. Under Network Interface, there is a tab for VLAN interface. Click Add to add a VLAN interface. Insert VLAN ID, IP address and next hop IP in the VEF interfaces. This is used to access the NGAF web management platform if deployed as bridge mode. The virtual wire interface is like a normal switch port. IP address is not configured as routing is not supported. Data transmission is not referred to MAC address list, as it is transmitted through other interface. The virtual wire interface has a higher transmission performance than bridge interface. Virtual wire interface can be found under Network, Virtual Wire. Click Add to add a virtual wire interface. Click on the drop-down button, select two pair of interfaces which want to forward through the firewall. Virtual wire mode is similar with the bridge deployment, but must configured in one pair of interfaces. Aggregate interface is a logical interface, not a physical interface, combined with multi-Ethernet interfaces. Aggregate interface is the accumulation of two or more physical interface, with high bandwidth available to an IP address and can hold up to a maximum of 4 physical interface only. The aggregate interface support root, bridge and virtual wire but not mirror port. In aggregate interface, there are 3 work mode: load balance hash, load balance RR, standby mode. In load balance hash, packet transmission depends on the hash value of source and destination IP or MAC. In load balance RR, packet transmit to each interface evenly. In standby mode, take the largest number ETH-based interface transceiver package, the rest is prepared interface. The aggregate interface can only be found in physical NGAF, it is under Network, Interface, and the tab Aggregate Interface. Click Add to add an aggregate interface. Select the interface that want to aggregate. It can be form maximum up to 4 aggregate interface, while each aggregation can bundle up to maximum 8 interface. Please note that not all interfaces can be form aggregate interface, it must be within a same network card. You could try to add one interface, it will auto-gray out invalid interface. The sub-interface is applied only when root interface connect on VLAN trunk port. The physical interface section is to select the root interface. The VLAN ID section is used to configure VLAN ID. Sub-interface is logical interface and can only add under root interface. Sub-interface can be found under Network, Interface, and the tab Sub-interface. Click Add to add a sub-interface. Select the root interface, and configure VLAN ID as well as the static IP. Usually ISP1 line required to configured as the VLAN interface. Following example shows the F1 configured as sub-interface with PPPO mode for the ISP connection. Zone is used for defining and categorizing interface. Policy are based on the zone. Zone can be added at the interface page. Multiple interface can be defined in one zone, however, only one interface can be categorized in one zone. Zone can be found under Network, Interface. There are 2 ways to add zone here. First, is to click any interface in the physical interface, and change the Added to Zone section to Add Zone. Second, is to click the Zone tab, and click Add. Zone are important when defining the basic network, access control, bandwidth configuration and so on. Here are some interface precautions. NGAF can support multiple one-attribute interface. Only physical interface support IPv6. Management interface does not support configure as bridge or virtual wire interface. The device must have at least 5 physical interface to deploy as double bridge. A root interface can add in multiple sub-interface. Root interface IP address and sub-interface IP address can't conflict. Thank you for watching.